Hey trackies, welcome back to another video here on TXT Track Time. Please remember to like the video and also subscribe to the channel. So trackies, I have some results for you from the LA Grand Prix for our Jamaican participants. Now we have Jamaican participants in multiple different events. So I'm going to kick things off trackies with the men's 100 meters. And yes, we were anticipating this particular performance because we had Ackeem Blake, one of the fastest Jamaicans this season over the 100-meter distance, lined up against the likes of a Letsile that has been having so far a superb 2024. We're talking about a world record in the 300 meters, running a 19.71 as well over the 200 meters. So if everything went according to plan, track is, and I say that if because something is coming, the bad news is coming. If everything went to plan, then we would have potentially seen a good race between Ackeem Blake and Letsile, or at least that was my expectation, as well as having the sprinkle of the United States American athletes there as well in the conversation. Well, Chuck is unfortunately, as I said, there's bad news coming. Ackeem Blake false started. So he twitched in the blocks and unfortunately did not start the race. No, I do not know because the camera switched angles if he tried to protest the disqualification track is. But long story short, he did not take up a lane in the final because he was disqualified, hence leading to no clash that we expected to see between Letsile as of course and Ackeem Blake, as well as I said, the sprinkle of the American athletes that were in the conversation as well for a potential win. Now walking out with the win was Carrie King, and he ran a 10.11 seconds, and Letsile ran in for second, 10.13 seconds. Now going into this meet, I was actually watching the sprint events, and the times left me pondering if we'd be able to see any fast times for the 100-meter sprint specifically in this or for this particular event. And yeah, I did not think you'll be seeing anything fast, especially after what happened in the women's B final, which I'll get to. But yeah, the times were not given, so I was not expecting anything fast. And yeah, we got a 10.11 here and a 10.13 for Letsile and Aaron Brown running out the top three with a 10.23 seconds. Now let's jump on over to the women's 100 meters. Now we had quite a few Jamaicans lined up here. We had Natasha, Tia, we had Alana, and we had Lane. Now when it came to this particular race, I was pretty interested to see how our Jamaicans will go, especially the younger ones. I wanted to see what they would do in this particular field. Now I did have Melissa Jefferson walking away with the win. She did win here, but surprising to me was the flyer that Alana Reid got in this race. She got a really good start and was pretty much, with the pack, leading pack, trackies, up to about 70 meters or 60 meters until she was, overtaken by Melissa, Marleki, Ikenison, and Lene, and she ended up finishing in fourth. But for me personally, just based on that execution, Alana Reid had something amazing going on in this race. Now she ended up finishing fourth, running a 11.36 seconds. But again, as I said, I love the execution, and it looks like to me the return of what we're expecting to see from an Alana Reid when we get to the Jamaican trials. Now they ran this race in a negative 2.4 meters per second wind. So track is the times are not given. So don't worry about the times at all. Just think about the execution or focus on the execution of the athletes and go from there. Because I tell you, I don't know what was going on with these times. The performances just didn't, seem, or the times just didn't give what we thought they would give. As I said, Melissa Jefferson already sub 11 this season could only manage an 11.27 seconds. So yeah, I was pretty much questioning what was going on the home straight, when it came to the 100-meter sprinters. Now, we also had Lane in this race, and she was definitely a surprise package for me. I didn't know what to expect from Lane because she had not run the 100 meters so far this season. She got a good start, but she was definitely able to come back on the field and collect a third place in this race, running at 11.35 seconds. So that for me was pretty amazing from her for her first run. Again, the time trackies may not be anything to write home about, but I'm just looking at the execution in general, and I thought this was a very strong run from Lane, especially the fact that she focuses on the fours and also the twos mainly and not necessarily the 100 meters. So I thought this was a very strong run from Lane. Interesting though, even though Lene finished third and Alana fourth, Alana could have very well finished higher, considering that she shut it down towards the end of the race. Definitely thought her placing could have been a bit higher based on how the race ended. Now, we also had Tia Clayton and Natasha Mercy in the lineup. Tia was sixth and she ran 11.47 seconds, and Natasha Morrison was seventh and she ran at 11.51 seconds. Honestly, as I said, the times overall trackies were not given, and yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on with the training for some of these athletes. Some of them may be very well loaded coming into this race as it relates to why we're seeing the performances, because there are a few of these athletes, especially when it comes to Natasha and also Tia, that get bullet starts if you look at how they perform on a typical when they're running their best race. So clearly this is not their best execution. But again, the trials is right around the corner and these are dress rehearsals. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the times will come down to when we get to the trials. I'm not going to let anybody trick me this year. These slow times or these times in general are not going to trick me. Trackies, I'm looking forward to seeing what the execution will be at the end of the day. Now, trackies, I'm going to jump over into the women's B final because this is what came up first for the women. Now, in this B final trackies, I did have Abby and Gabby potentially being the top two finishers in this race. Interestingly, English Gardner walked away with the win and she ran at 11.22 seconds. Now, Abby Steiner and Gabby were third and fourth, respectively, 11.32 to 11.42 seconds. Now, we did have Briana Williams in this race as well, and she ran at 11.47 seconds. Now, I did not see this race, so I can't really say what exactly happened in terms of execution. But again, as I said, from this particular race was when I started to side eye the times, because I said to myself, taking into consideration the time some of these athletes have already run this season, definitely was looking for something faster than an 11.2, you would say. So from then on, I was pretty much saying, okay, we may not be seeing any of those fast times we were potentially anticipating in this women's 100 meters and men's 100 meters. And it pretty much happened exactly like that. We didn't get any fast times for the men and the women in the 100 meters. Now, we also did partake in a few other events. So let me just jump into those. We had in the men's 400-meter hurdles. Wow, we're talking about Rai Benjamin coming out running a 46.64 seconds. His first 400-meter hurdles race for the season, and it's a world lead, 46 seconds. I was like, what? And then Rashawn Clark running his first race as well for the season, the 400-meter hurdles, 48.11. I was like, okay, Rashawn, you're definitely getting it. So we could potentially see Rashawn Clark go much faster than he did last season, as well as maybe challenge that 46 barrier when we get to our challenge at 47 barrier when we get to the Jamaican trials and potentially the Olympic Games. I'm excited for him. Malik James King didn't have such a strong run in this particular race and he finished sixth. He ran 49.09 seconds, and Jahil Hyde was ninth with a 50.15 seconds run. Karen McMaster rounded out the top three and he ran 48.51 seconds. So I was potentially expecting to see maybe two Jamaicans in the top three. We got one. I'll set it for that. I'm happy with the execution from the athletes. I love what I saw from Rashawn Clark. But yeah, the reality is that Rai Benjamin, Karsten Warholm, Dos Santos, they are living in a different planet. Them not on planet Earth, them live someplace else. Venus, Mars, Saturn, I don't know where, them just not there at Earth, right? But yeah, these guys are phenomenal. Now, Chuckies, we're going to jump on over to the women's 400 meters where we had Stacey and Williams run here. She finished fifth, running 51.38 seconds. I thought this was a much stronger execution than she did in Kingston at the Jamaica Invitational. So that is a good thing. The race was much more measured in this particular outing. Now, with that said, Marley Paulina, though, walked out with the win with a 50.27 seconds. Mary Mora was second with a 50.56 seconds. And Alexis Holmes was third with a 50.73 seconds. Now, in the men's equivalent, we had Sean Bailey here for a season opener over the 400 meters with a solid run. He finished fifth, running 45.19 seconds. Now, this for me is a solid opener from Sean Bailey. And again, our 400-meter guys slowly but surely are getting stronger, are looking stronger as the days draw closer to the national trials. No, taking the win though was Michael Norman running 44.53 seconds. Kirana James was second, 44.85 seconds, and Vernon Norwood was third, 44.86 seconds. All right, so trackies, that is it for this current update. I'll give you the rest of the updates in another video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As usual, like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.